This is Christopher Bruza. Welcome back. This week, I took my Taran Tactical Benelli M2 and my recently approved Benelli M2 Entry short-barreled shotgun with a 14-inch barrel to the range to compare patterns and compare how they shot and functioned. And this is my current home defense shotgun, and whether I could replace it with this or see what my thoughts are and see how I need to modify this to fill that niche. The results were similar to what I expected. I did all the testing at 20 yards. People always say measure the longest distance in your home that you would be shooting and pattern your shotgun at that range. The longest distance in my home is 19 yards, so I did all this at 20 yards. Anything closer than that is going to be a tighter group. And maybe your house is shorter or longer. 20 yards, 25 yards is about what I would expect to use a personal defense shotgun in. And now this was both done with buckshot. Slugs are completely different, and birdshot's a whole different thing. So before we get into it, please like, subscribe, and share this video if you enjoy it. Most of the people watching these are not subscribed. It helps immensely if you subscribe, and thank you very much for even watching this. Okay, so let's go to the range. The first test I did was with the Taran Tactical M2. Now, if you want to know more about this shotgun, I'll link to a video where I go over this in depth. And I'll also link to this, which I went over when I was waiting for Form 1 approval. So anyway, let's go to the range. We're shooting this 3 shots, 20 yards, Federal Flight Control LE-132. It's reduced recoil, 9 pellet with the flight control wad in it, and see how it does. Okay, so the center of spreads between groups were not that great. I was shooting fairly quick, or about as quick as I would expect to shoot and hit a torso. So what I did is I marked the different groups. So here's the first group. You get 9 shots, and it's a spread of 6 1/8 inches to the right. And I seem to shoot that shotgun to the right consistently. I probably need to adjust the sights, but here we go, 6 1/8 inches. Now the next shot is the purple here, and you've got a very tight group here with one flyer. And sometimes people think 9 pellet buckshot, you're always going to get 1 flyer. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but we got 7 5/8 inches. Very reasonable patterns for 20 yards. And then here we get a nice pattern of 4 3/4 inches with the yellow. This one is from this group. No flyer there. This might have a flyer there. I don't know, but I mean, all of these would be devastating on home defense ranges. So I was pretty impressed with that. And I don't know, let's see what happens with the 14-inch. Same ammo, 3 shots, shooting fairly quickly. Not rushed, but I'm not sitting there aiming extremely precisely and is offhand. But let's go to the range. Okay, so that was the first time I shot this shotgun in this configuration with the short barrel. And one, I was pleased to see the sights were on, but I was expecting a lot more recoil than with the Taran Tactical, which holds more shells, longer barrel, longer mag tube. It's got a flashlight on it, and it has the Comfort Tech stock, which is, it's supposed to tame recoil much better than the standard stock. I felt more comfortable shooting this shorter shotgun, this stock, this configuration. Don't know what it is, but I was pleasantly surprised, and it felt like that recoil pad did a very good job. So the pattern, okay, so looking at the groups, again, this was the aiming point, but I wasn't aiming, the best I could. We're just getting hits on the target. These are all good hits on the torso. So first group, right here, you've got kind of a horizontal spread and no clear flyers, anything like that. 8 1/4 inches. And I mean, that's devastating. Now, again, here's our second shot. We got one flyer down here. And the furthest between the shots is, again, 8 1/4 inches. So down here, again, sort of a horizontal spread, seeing a pattern, and no flyers, but 5 5/8 inches. So 8 1/4, 8 1/4, 5 5/8, which seems to be, I don't know what to make of that yet. So might be confusing looking at 3 different patterns on one target, remembering what I shot last time. So let's go to the range. I'll take one target, the dot high, dot low, take one shot with each. Again, the same Federal Flight Control LE 132 ammunition. Now that's my ammunition of choice for home defense. I have got a good amount stored away, and that's what I keep my shotguns loaded with. You might choose something different. There might be something better out there. There might be something worse, but let's go shoot these at the same target. So again, I'm getting less perceived recoil with a short-barreled shotgun. Don't know what it is. I mean, it could be the springing in here. There's a lighter recoil spring, lighter trigger springs, inertia springs. It's kind of set up pseudo competition wise. But the groups are very similar. So the first one, these aren't really, you can't really call that a flyer because you got 2 there, and we're measuring 5 1/2 inches of spread. Now this one, you can possibly, you got one outlier there, but still 5 1/2 inches. This is slightly more compact, but effectively the same. Now this is Federal Flight Control, which, from my understanding and my testing I've done over the years and on my channel, it creates a tighter pattern than most buckshots, and that's due to the wad design. The wad keeps the shot together for a bit longer and then opens up. You open up some buckshot and it's just a felt pad. There's no actual wadding keeping the buckshot together. And I knew people would complain, you need to test something else that's not really representative of buckshot. So I had some Hornady Tap. It's their police ammo, and it has the Versatite wad, I believe it's called, and I tested that. So I took one shot with each gun again at the same target, because I think that's a better comparison. It's easier to visualize. So let's go to the range and see how that performed. Okay, that kicks a heck of a lot more than the reduced recoil Federal. There's a advertised difference of, I think, 300 feet per second, 275 feet per second, something in there. But wow, that kicks your shoulder a heck of a lot more. But again, this feels like less recoil. And the only thing I can think is it comes down to the springing in the stock, which surprises me, but that's how it felt to me. No idea, can't explain it. But these results were a bit more what I would expect. So for the 18-inch with the Hornady Tap, we got a big circle here. Nothing in the middle, but a big circle, 8 5/8 inches. It's interesting that there's nothing in there. It's interesting. So down here, we've got pretty much a horizontal spread. Now this is 8 pellet buckshot, and yet we still have a flyer here, or one outside of this tighter group. But this is a much tighter group, spread horizontally. However, it measures 10 inches. I think both of, the patterns are quite a bit different. The spread on the short barrel measures worse, but it seems much more dense. Now this is a group of one. Sadly, I ran out of targets. We got halfway to the range, and I had bought 24 IPSC cardboard silhouettes, and got halfway to the range and realized I forgot them. Going home and back was not possible due to time constraints, so I stopped at Target and I bought some poster boards, and I bought all the ones they had, which was 7, and so that's what I was working with. But it gives us a good starting point. The entire purpose of this was to go kind of break this in and see how it worked, see how it functioned for home defense, how I liked it, and what sort of changes I need to do to improve it. Now, we saw, if you go back and look at the patterns, it seems like this barrel, this setup, likes more of it produces more of a slightly horizontal spread. I'm sure that is completely random to this setup, this barrel. who knows what. I mean, they're choked the same. The only thing different is 4.5 inches on the barrel. Same lots of ammo, same boxes of ammo, and stuff like that. Whereas this tends to give you more of a round pattern, and not super consistent, but you kind of see a pattern there, which I didn't expect. Now, one thing I did do, saved ammo after shooting to get velocity differences, because I was very curious to see the velocity differences. Now that could potentially play into the perceived recoil. I could not get my lab radar to pick up the shots, and spent all the ammo I had saved trying to pick up the shots. Did not pick up a single one. When I was leaving the range, it dawned on me why. I had the lab radar set up for rifle velocities, and I needed to change it to handgun velocity. So I was looking for something in the 2,000 plus feet per second range, and seeing something in the 1,000 foot per second plus range. So that's my fault. I apologize for that. We're going to do some more comparisons. Next week, actually, I'm going to be reviewing Winchester PDX-1 ammunition, which the type that has a 1 ounce slug and 3 buckshot in it. I've always been intrigued by that ammo. I don't think it has any practical application in the world, but it's an interesting concept. So I'll be testing that out, but we'll do some comparisons. To wrap it up, I wasn't sure how this build would go, what direction it would take. If I'd send it to Taran Tactical and have them slick it up like they did this shotgun, and for its purpose, I don't think I'm going to go that direction. Definitely changing the lifter. I'm going to put a Taran Tactical bolt handle on it. It needs a light. And I'm contemplating an optic. Likely the stock will get cut down, and it's going to go more of the law enforcement looking stock direction. I search daily on Gunbroker for the Surefire forehand. I found one that was an old one, advertised for the Benelli M1 Super 90, and the Surefire LM16 or LM617 or 617 LM, whatever it's called, is advertised for the M2 or the M1. So I bought that one thinking it would work on here. Came in, sent it to Surefire, had it restored, new tape switch, bulbs, everything, and it does not fit on here. So I'm still searching for a light solution. The 617 has been discontinued for years. I really hope to find one, and I don't know about an optic. Let me know what you think. I've had optics on other shotguns, an M2, M4, and it seems like a failure point. Now, Scalarworks makes mounts that will co-witness, or very bottom co-witness, so I don't know. We'll see. Let me know your thoughts on that. And until next time, enjoy.